Hey, shalom everyone, this is Chris Shoemaker, also known as Yehuda ben Shomer, and welcome to the Counting of the Omer, 50 days to spiritual refinement. Today is day 9 of the Omer, and the theme for the week is Gevurah, which means severity and strength, and the theme for the day is also Gevurah, which means severity and strength. So the overall theme is the severity and strength of God's severity and strength. Seems a little redundant, but it's talking about God's ultimate power, His omnipotence, His all-powerfulness. So we seen yesterday His love manifested in His severity with God kicking Adam and Eve out of the garden so that they wouldn't take of the tree of life and therefore be eternally separated from a relationship with Him. So today, let us look at the totality of His severity with the total absence of love that brings to full circle yesterday's theme. In Revelation chapter 20, verses 1 and 14, it says, "And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death." So the totality of God's severity and strength is when He removes Himself from a place, when He removes Himself from something and becomes absent. Because when He becomes absent, that's when darkness and void and chaos ensue and destruction ensues. Because God is a God of life. He's a God of the living, not a God of the dead. As Yeshua said, He said to the Pharisees, "I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." Therefore, He is a God of the living, not a God of the dead, because Yeshua said, "I was the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob," or what have you. So we see that when Sheol, hell in the grave, is finally cast into the lake of fire along with Satan and the beast and the false prophet and all those who have willingly rejected Messiah Yeshua, they're going to be eternally separated from God. And God is going to be totally absent from that place of the lake of fire by choice. And in doing so, we see the severity and strength of His severity and strength, which is represented by the total absence of His presence. To me, that is a greater definition of hell than simply the lake of fire and brimstone and the torment of the physical sensation of being burned. So let us go to the traditional text of Psalm 119, verses 65 through 72. And it says, "You do good to your servant, Adonai, according to your word. Teach me good sense and knowledge, for I trust in your commandments. I trust in your mitzvot. Before I was afflicted, I went astray." So here, David is acknowledging that when he's afflicted, when he's convicted because of sin, that is a corrective measure by God to help steer him back in the right direction. It says, "Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now I keep your word. You are good and keep doing good and teach me your decrees. Though the proud smeared a lie on me, with all my heart I kept your precepts. Their minds are insensible, but your Torah, your law, your instructions is my delight. It is good for me that I was afflicted." Again, here David loves the correction of God through his Torah, through His instructions and law. "The Torah from your mouth is better to me than 1,000 of gold and silver pieces." So better than monetary riches is God's Torah. Basically, David was saying, hey, I'm the king. I've got plenty of wealth, plenty of monetary wealth, but having the Torah, having God's instructions is worth far more than any of that. And when David came to the throne, one of his first responsibilities and acts as king, according to Deuteronomy chapter 17, I believe, he was to sit down in front of Levitical scribes as he copied out himself his personal copy of the 5 books of Moses. And I'm not sure how long that took, but David had his own personal copy that he could read on a daily basis and therefore know how to reign and rule and make decisions and judge Israel correctly. So let's go ahead and close with a word of prayer. We thank you, Abba Adonai God, that you love us enough that one day our enemies will be utterly and irreparably vanquished, all because of your Gevurah, your severity and strength, expressed through your holiness. In Messiah Yeshua's name we pray, Amen. Thanks for watching. Shalom and Shavua Tov.